Hey there, Clean Freaks. It's Hank Walsh. We're back in studio, episode 2, with our water quality expert, Jeffrey Paquet from VERDA Water Quality Systems. And we're going to be talking today, building on the conversation that we started in episode 1, talking about those multidisciplinary teams that you probably already have, but you definitely need to make sure that you're a part of it if you're in sterile processing, specific to the new guidelines and new insights that are coming out around the space. But today we're going to talk about what the goal of that group should be, what your program goals should be for pushing water quality forward in your SPD and in your facility. So, Jeff, welcome back to the studio today to talk about this topic.
Thanks, Hank. Excited to be here, and let's get at
it. So, a goal, someone's got to set it. And I'm curious, as we kind of kick this off, how do you know where to start? Is this just something that you pull out of thin air? Is there some kind of guidance or guideline out there? Do you ask facilities what their goal is, and then you bring the SPD? Kind of talk to us about how you start this.
So in episode 1, we talked about a multidisciplinary team. And once you formed your team, these are the people that are going to work together to set the goals. You now have all the stakeholders in water quality management, the facilities, and people using the instruments and processing the instruments. And so these are the people who are going to establish the goals.
Now, this is kind of a softball, I guess, but are the goals impacted by available resources? So is there like hey, if we had all the money in the world, all the time in the world, all the people in the world, and we'd have different goals maybe than the goals that we actually have because we don't have all those things? Or is it the quality goal, and that is what it is outside of whatever resource constraints you may have?
Right. So, luckily it's customizable. In episode 3, we're going to talk about surveying and determining your current system. So one of the first things you're going to do in setting goals is, led by your own quality of care document, you're gonna set some very high level goals about what you're trying to achieve. Maybe that's SSIs, maybe that's rejected sets, maybe there's some ROI on this in terms of reducing costs or reducing the amount of labor required to manage and process instruments, whatever those high level goals are. And then you begin to take a look at what you have. And ask yourselves, where you think you are in your journey. You're going to know, okay, well, we haven't done anything about water in years. We have an older purification system. We can't spell SD-108. So, where are we? Where are we? So you're going to ask yourself questions like, okay, did we just install a system? Do we have a new system? Is our equipment older, our infection control equipment, are the fixtures on our sinks older, newer? Where are we in our capital, replacement schedule and maintenance schedule? Are there specific issues you're having that you would really like to address? The benefit in implementing a standard like this is to improve the outcomes for your patient, reduce the cost of healthcare, reduce the cost of operating your facility. So what are your specific problems that are driving up the cost of you delivering care? And beyond just complying with the standard, what other types of things are you looking to do? Including, looking at the findings of your survey as to where you are in your capital acquisition for new equipment and determining when and how that is going to happen. And then what changes do you foresee happening over the next, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years in the facility? There's many facilities right now are ramping up for that, baby boom healthcare bubble that's happening now, and they're seeing, ortho is skyrocketing, other procedures are going up, and they're trying to figure out how is the best way to ramp up for that, and they know it's going to take some time. So what does that look like, and how is that going to impact your goals for your water quality implementation plan?
And maybe that's a good place to wrap here as we even start looking, to that survey piece for next episode. But, you just mentioned, hey, there's things changing around the facility, even in strategy, in service line growth and whatnot. But can you speak to these program goals in for water quality? Is this a set it and forget it? The group kind of comes together, once 10 years ago and says, this is the plan. Or are you coming back to this on an annual basis, even maybe quarterly basis, and saying, okay, there's some things that have changed over here. Now there's some things that need to change with the plan.
Right. Well, the plan is fundamentally it encapsulates the process of continuous improvement. So as things change in the facility, the plan needs to change. How you deal with things needs to change in terms of managing water quality, and you need to keep the plan alive. And the plan should spell out at what frequency you review the plan, and that's probably going to be at least once a year, if not quarterly. But certainly as things change, and as they may install new equipment somewhere in the facility that may impact water quality, and need to make sure you're addressing that and seeing if it affects anything you're doing in terms of control in your own department or outcomes.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Jeff, for coming back and, continuing this conversation. We're still at the very beginning of this series. And so this is the first of these episodes you caught, make sure and go catch up with episode 1 and then hang with us. We're going to be right back with the next episode here, talking about survey, getting the lay of the land of your current state. And that's going to not only inform the goals that we've been talking about in this episode, but obviously what other resources, what other advocacy and support that you need to start building across that multidisciplinary team to get what you need, both knowledge-wise, but also investment-wise and workflow-wise, to make this water quality dream a reality. So hang with us, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. And as we tell you each and every week here at Beyond Clean, keep fighting dirty.